Greetings everyone, here we are with another delightful video. This time it is for the Pathfinder Second Edition Remaster Monster Core Book 1. There's most likely going to be a Monster Core Book 2 at some point in the future. This book, for important reference, largely replaces Bestiary 1 for Pathfinder Second Edition. I should refer to it as Classic Pathfinder Second Edition. There should be some kind of term or nomenclature that's appended onto everything for Pathfinder Remaster that says it's the remaster version, and something that says for the first one it would be Pathfinder Second Edition Classic when referencing it online or something like that. So far all we have is that there's Pathfinder Second Edition, there's Pathfinder Second Edition, and then sometimes people will add on remaster or core to the second one, the newer version. Except I have already seen people use the term core in referring to the original version of Pathfinder Second Edition on Amazon and a few other places. So that's going to get really annoying soon for some people trying to get in on Pathfinder Second Edition Remaster. But overall, the common pattern, what you can use to indicate what is a Pathfinder Second Edition Remaster product, most of the time, not all the time, because Paizo kind of failed in numerous little ways to make this consistent, but usually the remasters will have a green with yellow boxing. The problem with this the serious problem with this is that sometimes they use the other coloring for other things. Say, like, for example, this. This is the original Pathfinder Second Edition. You see that it is a yellow sort of maroon tone in there. However, you know that this is the original, and the green is the remaster. This is the Book of the Dead. This is actually for original Pathfinder Second Edition. They have green and yellow. So Paizo has already screwed that up a few times. And then there's also some of the other new products where they use the new version of Pathfinder Second Edition rules. I believe this is another one. Just double check. The thing that gives you the 100% notice. So, like, here's something for Pathfinder Second Edition Remaster. They use the old color combination. So this is something that I really suggest to Paizo. They have to really fix it fast, and stop mixing it. They need to put something on there, like a block that says Pathfinder Second Edition Remaster version or something like that, because you're going to get some people who are going to start getting irritated that they are buying products and then they're buying two different versions of Pathfinder Second Edition by accident, and then they have to do a bunch of conversions. And their game master might say, oh, we are not using that. We're using the original Pathfinder Second Edition, not the remaster. Or we're using only the remaster stuff, not the Pathfinder Second Edition Classic version. So there you go. This book, MSRP, is for $60. It is a solid cover, high quality. It's fair. It does have some flex bend. You want some flex bend because, you know, if it hits against something, you want it to flex a little bit as opposed to a break immediately. However, you don't want something super flexy where it bends exceedingly well and then you get damage crinkle lines in it. This is a fairly well done and See there, it's stitch binding on a mat. On the front and the back, there's a nice piece of artwork of numerous creatures. Some of them are new, some of them are old to Pathfinder Second Edition. As I said, the Monster Core book replaces the Bestiary 1 and somewhat Bestiary 2 from the original. It's up to 400 creatures. It is omitting some of the classic creatures like Beholders and a few others. There's from the Bestiary 1 and Bestiary 2 that you might want to buy. So it's still worth buying Bestiary 1 and Bestiary 2 if you're a game master. But you have a nice variety. In the front, you have all the creatures across multiple pages, as well as an appendix key up here. It is pretty well organized overall. The text is a little more tightly spaced than I like sometimes, but you have very good explanation overall of how to read stat blocks, how to power up or power down creatures for situations, to basic rules on what kind of gear and languages based around levels and types of creatures. Then you go right into the creatures themselves. Typical for Pathfinder Second Edition, Classic and Remaster, is that there will typically be one piece of artwork for each creature, a nice section describing the creature, as well as a little blurb related to the creature or the culture around the creature or people's perception of the creature itself. The stat block is fairly well organized overall, all for top down. You have the name and creature level right there. This is a level 1 creature. This is typically good for like first level characters to run up against. You have keywords up here like tiny, aeon, and monitor, which are keywords that you should know because it ties into various sets of rules in the system. You have perception as well as locate aeon or any other characteristics like it has a perception of +7, dark vision, and locate aeon, so they are fairly aware of other aeons in their area. They can detect them. And then it goes through their languages, their basic skills and stat block. And then it goes into what kind of items are on them and so forth. Their basic attacks and so forth and so on. And this is the standard pattern through the entire book. As I said, there's typically always going to be one piece of artwork for every creature. That is a must in my book, because if there's any person who should know what a creature looks like, it should be the game master, as that it makes it easier to describe the creature to the players, but also the game master is capable of changing the description of the creature just in case, or altering the way they word it so that the players don't immediately know what it is if their characters don't know what it is. Because sometimes you will get players that if you describe to them exactly what the creature is, or you refer to it by exact name, they have a bad habit of assuming that they know it and their character knows it automatically because they know it already. Also, on occasion, they will you got this nice section of animated objects. I do very much like the fact that they have a human here for scale with the giant animated statue. So that's always awesome nice. There's only a few knocks I have to give against this. They're still doing the green on green thing. That is a absolute no-no. You should never do that. You should never put green on green. You should not put blue on blue. You shouldn't technically put red on red, but red and red is a rare color blindness issue. The problem with this is that this, to a colorblind person, appears to be all brown. Trust me, I know, because I know several people who are literally colorblind. They will have a difficult time picking out the difference between this bar, the background green, and the sub-green under it. That's actually 3 different greens there. Can you see 3 different greens there? And that continues on through the book. Sometimes you have subsection within subsections and so forth. They added a few new creatures. I don't remember him in the original Bestiary 1, 2, or 3. So that's nice. And it continues forward. I think that's also a new one as well. You have a very nice variety of creatures throughout Monster Core 1 that meet your needs. You also have a lot of beasts or animals for your druids and various other areas. Boggards, bugbears. They've kind of changed up their style of bugbear a little bit. I actually like it. Makes them look more like cats, actually. Looks like slightly demonic cats. Which I approve of. So, overall, I do like this book very much. I haven't had much use of it. I've only did some light prep for a game here and there, and I've only picked up a few games here and there online for Pathfinder Second Edition. I have personally found that I kind of need to have a cheat sheet for rolling because I'm not strong in math. So it usually it requires me to be very prepared or just to play along very quickly. I presume that might actually alleviate itself as I go over time. You got some nice crocodile action. You got some cyclopses. There's usually 1 to 2 varieties, versions of common creatures at minimum. So you got a nice variety of demons. You got some... I skipped a few pages there, by the way. Go back this way. You got some nice selection of dinosaurs. Like... Velociraptor, Deinonychus, a Hadrosaur, Stegosaurus, Ankylosaur, Triceratops. This is actually one of the few times where they don't have artwork for all the creatures. It's just one of those things when they cram in multiple stat blocks very quickly into 1 or 2 pages. They usually only have 1 piece of artwork per page. And they got a guard dog and riding dog. I presume you could go ahead and have the same piece of artwork for the same creature, but there you go. I think that's their replacement for Mind Flyers and so forth. And one of the few cases where you don't have a piece of artwork for multiple creatures, but you have just one of the adult. The new dragons are kind of really neat in themselves. So there you go. They're fairly diverse in their appearance and their structure. So there you go. If you go, I'm going to flip a whole bunch of pages. You go all the way to the very back. You'll have also a whole section on other things. Zombies are typically always the last thing in the book. You have an ability glossary that describes the basic abilities of the creatures in the front. It's very important for Pathfinder 2nd Edition to remember or memorize different abilities like engulf or pull or poison or low light vision or stuff like that, or light blindness, life sense, and so forth. Because those have, some of them have fairly long mechanics that are not described in the monster stat block, like engulf. And that's a common problem I keep hearing about a lot of new game masters for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, is that sometimes you're playing a character and playing a monster, and all it says is engulf, and it basically gives you the basic damage. And it says engulf, and you just like, how does this work? Oh, you have to like flip to the very last page of the book, the last few pages of the book, and find it. You got some tables for creatures by level, which is handy dandy. It goes from -1 all the way through to level 25, which is Tree Raiser, which is a demon, I do believe. And then you have a little bit of stuff in the back here for the people who worked on the book, as well as the Orc license notice, and some advertisements for various products from Paizo. So there you go. overall, if you're a game master for Pathfinder Second Edition Remaster, this is a must buy. This is a solid 4 stars. Right out the gate, it's 4.25 maybe. The problem is that I've only come across is the fact that they still in the design use all green border with green highlights of different tones, and that is a terrible decision because it often just blends together for people who are colorblind. And the fact that not every single creature has artwork for it, oftentimes the vast majority of creatures will have artwork for it. I forgot that there's a few creatures in there that don't have artwork for themselves because they are literally just a small section on a big page, like a dinosaur or something like that, or a variant of a dog when they already have a dog for something else. But anyways, those are the easy things to upgrade in the book: is fix color issues, maybe bolden some of the letters for they're easy to read, a little more spacing, have artwork for every single creature, and so forth. As I said, this is a must-buy for the Game Master. There's nothing really in here that a player needs. This is not Starfinder, where you have a bunch of species in the book where you can play as. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And have a delightful day, a nice night, a wonderful week, and a magnificent month. And see you next time. Ciao.